Karl-Anthony Towns might be the most disrespected player in the league. Ever since last year when he missed some time, I guess people started to act like he isn't the same now, or started to rule him out of their top 3 center rankings, but Cat is still very easily a top 3 center in terms of all-around talent. If you want a modern-day big, Towns literally fits this description to a T. People just don't really seem to understand that he has to share the floor with 2 other very, very high usage players, and still is able to match the production of other top-tier bigs in the league. First off, let's talk about his situation and additionally his share of the offense in Minnesota. He has the predicament, I guess you could call it, of having to share the ball with D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards. And if you've seen my past videos, you know that I don't particularly love these high volume scoring stars, but nonetheless, having this trio obviously just provides more offensive weapons for Minnesota. The problem is though, Russell and Edwards both get more touches and are notoriously inefficient scorers, as I mentioned earlier. Another thing you will notice is that D'Lo and Ant's hog rates are significantly higher than that of Karl-Anthony Towns's, which means that they get a larger percentage of the team's total offensive possessions than Cat does by a sizable margin. The thing is though, Cat doesn't need to assume a majority of the touch share because his impact transcends time of possession. So now let's dive deep into his talent. For one, he has some of the best screenplay and off-ball movement I've seen from anybody in the league ever. His movement impact, roll man impact, and pop impact ratings all place him in the upper echelon of all-time big men. Yes, he is one of the best screen-setting bigs ever because of his ability to create very great shots off his movement ability. But in these clips, you will also see how his movement off the ball spawns very easy buckets and also creates very easy perimeter looks for himself, which benefits himself very nicely because he is the greatest shooting big ever in my eyes, and this year he has been lights out through 12 games. Now, in addition to this intangible IQ, Cat also has some very nice vision for a big man, like Nikola Jokic level good. Now, he doesn't utilize this ability to the extent that Joker does, but in these clips, you see just what I'm talking about. Now, there's only 3 big men who rank in the top 10% of all players this year for box creation, and those big men are Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, and of course, Karl-Anthony Towns. Not to mention, in my opinion, he's arguably a more versatile passer than either Embiid or Jokic, and he does a phenomenal job finding cutters and additionally setting up break starts. And of course, we've got to show off his athleticism to end it out because I think his mobility as a scorer is also kind of underrated. Look, I'm just saying Karl Towns needs to be thrown back into all-star consideration because it's honestly just not fair to him. Maybe it's a situation because I know if I were him, I'd be trying to force a trade out right now because his game is just too valuable to be sitting at the bottom of the conference rotting away.